r/ask Reddit. What's a harmless thing that terrified you as a child? The busy tone when a call went dead. That used to scare the shit out of me. That freaking alligator under my bed that wanted to eat my feet. You gotta turn the lights out and jump in bed quick to avoid its wrath. Whenever the floorboards creaked, I imagined myself or my bed falling through the floor into the basement. Happened to a neighbor's daughter, 13-year-old girl, chilling in the bath. There's a creak and next thing the bath is in the kitchen. She wasn't hurt. By any chance, was your neighbor's 13-year-old daughter actually Cleveland Brown? No. I thought the bathtub drain would suck me down with the water. That little rope of buoys that separated the deep end from the shallow end in the pool. Yes. I'm 35 and those still creep me out. Not to mention those large buoys in Lake Associans. I'm not much of a swimmer BC, pretty much anything in the water, including dark water itself, creeps me out. Ceiling fans. I was afraid that it would come off the ceiling still spinning and chop me up like a helicopter blades. That and millions of bugs crawling through the windows and covering my bed like the plastic casket things people used to lay in on Fear Factor. Yeah, I totally grew out of that fear. It's not like I, an adult, strategically arranged my bed to make sure that the ceiling fan can't kill me while I sleep. That would be so silly. That happened to me years ago. My ex-husband and I were sleeping when we heard a loud hump, and we both sat up and one of the blades went flying off. Luckily it went the opposite way of us, but it scared the crap out of us. Well, now that fear will never leave. Thanks, I guess. Terry Fox. So in Canada we have Terry Fox Day and the Terry Fox Walk, because this guy, Terry Fox, tried to run across the country on one leg to raise cancer awareness. My child brain, however, didn't quite understand why. I didn't really understand what cancer was and nobody would tell me anything more than it's what took Terry's leg. I assumed it was a person or something. So all I knew was that we were walking, because a dead man with one leg said we should spread word about cancer who stole his leg and giving him money. I was so scared that if I forgot to donate or if I missed the walk that Terry Fox's ghost would come with whoever cancer was and take my leg too. Oh my god, this is why people need to properly explain things to kids and not use euphemisms and such. When I was a kid there were these PSA ads about how secondhand smoke is a health hazard for children, which had the slogan, if you smoke, they'll smoke too. The ad showed images of children in regular situations with CGI smoke coming out of their mouths as they breathed. Because of these ads, kid me got the idea that if I accidentally breathed in cigarette smoke from someone smoking by me, I would forever be smoking and seeing my breath just like that. I would then die young, because I was smoking. Naturally, I was terrified of people smoking and cold days would make me it. So yeah, you're right, lol. Escalators scared the shit out of me. Trying desperately to fit within a rectangle before it becomes a step, jumping off of them at the end to avoid being sucked down into oblivion. And there was one or two anecdotal stories from the news to convince me that they were, in fact, killers. I'm dead certain I triggered an escalator to go into safety shutdown mode as a kid. It had bristles on either side, so I shoved my dumb kid foot into it thinking it was a shoe polisher, and when my dumb kid foot got stuck for an instant the whole thing came to a sudden halt. The grumblings of all the adults, parents of mine included, made me think I shouldn't ever tell this until just now. It isn't a shoe polisher? I still do that. Guess I'll stop now. The FBI warning before movies scared the shit out of me. I was terrified of the glowing lights coming out of the earth during the Universal theme song, Unleash the Kraken. You wouldn't steal a handbag. Old televisions, right after you turned them off, they would glow for a bit. That's when the monsters could come out of the TV and get you. Sounds like Poltergeist has scarred another person. I had to, and still do, always close my closet doors and was absolutely terrified of looking under my bed, especially at night. Porcelain dolls. I'm 27 now and still terrified, lol. It's the cold, dead stare. Those gives me the creeps. Not weird at all. On this similar note, baby monitors. They always use this in creepy movies. I would hear the static and my baby in black and white and feel like something's going to jump at the screen. The THX sound effect that preceded most movies in the early 2000s. It always scared me as a kid. I listened to it last night and it still makes me uncomfortable. Not sure why. Emergency broadcast. Frick that noise to this day. When you're just vibing at 1 AM and that fricking alarm comes out of nowhere and sends you to the shadow realm. Amber alerts and National Weather Service beeps are the worst, agreed. Every time an Amber alert comes on my phone it is super loud and I jump, no matter when it comes. The Weather Service alerts are loud too, but dang, those Amber alerts are going to do me in one day. I was on the toilet, and for some unthinkable reason I was scared that the Hulk would come out the toilet and shove a knife up my ass. Why the Hulk? And why wouldn't he just shove his fists up my ass? Either way, it freaking confuses me. Sharks in the swimming pool. Could be 3 feet deep and I was still terrified yours was just gonna leave only my trunks floating in the water. LOL, you ever floated in a pool while closing your eyes and then your brain is like, imagine if this was the ocean and you jolt to open your eyes to remind yourself you're not. And then you drifted to the part where your feet can't touch the bottom and you're really fricked. And then you see a dead bee float towards you. Swallowing seeds from fruits. Was teased that they would grow and take over my insides and a tree would eventually burst out of me. Did you grow up watching Rugrats? Literally was just about to mention that episode. I think, for people between 30 and 35, that episode caused us to be fearful of seeds and the brave little toaster made us unreasonably attach time material objects. So here are some weird things I was afraid of for literally no reason, and what I did about them. That someone would stab me in the back in the night. I had a big stuffed bear I slept with on my back, his arms tucked under my armpits. He was Bagel and his job was to give his life for mine. I was terrified we'd suddenly have to run in the middle of the night, I never knew from what. I kept a go bag under my bag with a change of clothes and underwear and shoes and some books and travel games and such. Other than the clothes, everything in the bag was useless. Honestly, I don't know why I did these things. No one in my family had ever had to run from anything. No one had ever been attacked. We lived in a safe neighborhood. But they were my greatest fears as a child. I had a big stuffed bear I slept with on my back, his arms tucked under my armpits. He was Bagel and his job was to give his life for mine. This is one of the best things I've read. Everybody needs a Bagel. Bagel is a hero. Lawn flamingos. My big sister told me that they could take your soul if you looked into their eyes, so I'd run past them with my eyes covered. Bruh, what? Well, you see, they are husks that require a soul to be whole again. But adults are too stubborn and corrupted to have a soul ripped from fire meat suit. But the little one's souls can be taken with ease. What? That's the kinda it I loved about being the oldest sibling, lol. When I was young, my older brother convinced me that sugar gliders would kill people by flying down their throat when their mouths were open, and I believed that up until about a year ago. I'm 20 now. Apparently everything. My mum was always the worst case scenario. No matter what I did, it was don't do that. You're going to poke your eye out. You'll crack your head open. And the list goes on. Helicopters. I remember freaking out and crying if I saw one. They were like sky spiders. That the knot in my belly button would come undone and all my insides would leak out. I wish I was making this up. I also realize now that your navel is not an actual knot. Also, that if too much of my arm or leg was sticking out from under the blanket, the bad guy would be able to get me. Legit told my kid he was gonna untie the knot in his belly button and his guts would fall out. In my defense, he had scratched it and it was infected. And I needed him to keep his grubby mitts away from it while it healed. He's 22 now and not much worse off for my desperate parenting. Quicksand. It's 2020. I think quicksand is a legit concern for me at this point. Actually, in 2020, I think you'll probably have a lot of bigger problems to worry about. Double quicksand? Quicksand. Chucky. Cheese. That rat still gives me child molester vibes. turn off the lights to the basement and then running up the stairs. I'm 35 and I still do that. LOL, my body isn't as mobile, so I just installed a light switch near the entrance. Improvise. Adapt. Overcome. Return the slab. One night, every time I closed my eyes, all I could see is a gorilla with a zip up and shades on. I slept with my mother and father that night. Spirit of Harambe has blessed you, my child. Congrats, you've made it to the end. You're a beast. Like and subscribe for more r/ask Reddit content. It's free, so why not just do it?